everyone, I am back with another video. This is another tutorial video. I'm going to show you how to make these little bag purse type things, and they're pretty simple. This was actually kind of an oops size that I came up with on accident. I was following a written tutorial that one of my Stampin' Up club girls sent me. Margaret. Hi, Margaret. I like to consider them my friends now. We've been, you know, dealing with each other for a while. So she sent me some printed out tutorials that she had, and I was trying to make this bag, and it's supposed to be 6 inches by 4.5, and I kind of messed up reading the one of the measurements, and I came up with this size. So as I was doing it, I always keep track with little notes on scratch paper and such, so I figured out how to recreate this bag again. But this bag measures 5 inches by 4.5 inches. So what I put inside here is I make some 4.5 by 4.25 inch cards. And I know it's kind of an odd size, but you know, it is. So I made the cards. This is wired kind of ribbon stuff. I made 10 cards for this one, and that was kind of pushing it with some dimensionals. So, you know, just cute little cards, and they all have different things on them. And I also made, they're kind of stuffed in here, I also made envelopes, and for these envelopes I did use the size recommended on the envelope punch board, but I don't like them because they stick up on top of my bag. I don't like that. So I'm going to show you how to actually make the envelope, but I'm going to show you 2 different ways. So I'm going to show you how, at the end of the video, how to make the one with the envelope punch board, and then I'm going to show you how to make the one that I came up with before I had the punch board. And you can see there's probably almost a 1/2 inch, I want to say, difference, 3/8 of an inch difference in the height. I just like the shorter one better. So this is a squared envelope, and then this one is your cornered envelope. So I'm going to show you how to make those at the end. This is another bag I made using Stampin' Up products for this one, and this has little cards. I've showed this on my blog, and I showed all these cards up on my blog and my Facebook, and these are just little note cards. I made this set for my mom, and so all of the envelopes that I made, little square envelopes, go with this set. And see what I mean about how the envelopes fit right in there also. They don't stick out the top. And this one I used paper. So I'm going to show you how to make another bag. And then I'm going to show you... One second, I'm checking my phone. Okay, so I have a little set of thank you cards that I made, and this is all Stampin' Up stuff. And I have these little thank you cards that I wanted to put together and just keep on hand. I plan on making a bunch more different colors, and I think they're just really cute. They're very simple. I just used a Cuttlebug embossing strip, just this little strip here, for the embossed part. This is the Whisper White cardstock. This green is called Lucky Limeade. It is a retired color, but I bought it in the clearance section, so I bought a whole package of that, and I bought the ink pad, and I also bought the twine. So you cannot get those anymore. They don't have them, but you can always check the clearance and see if there's any more left in there, because I really don't know. The flower I used is from the Flower Shop stamp set, and that looks like this. And this is definitely available right now. I also used the Pansy Punch that matches that stamp set. That is also still available. And then I used a stamp that says thank you, and that came from, the stamp set called Lots of Thanks. right there, and this one is available also. So all of this you can get minus the cardstock, the ink color, and the twine over on my store. So I will link that in the description also. So I haven't done the insides of the cards, so I'm just going to put a little white piece probably with some inking. So that's what the cards look like, and I made 5. So I'm going to make the last one at the end of the video and show you how I did it with the embossing right there and stuff. So that stuff I will do at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do the bag. And for the bag, you're going to need 1 piece of 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock. And again, this is the Lucky Limeade. So what you're going to do, I'm going to keep track of my little notes here, is you're going to get your scoreboard out, whatever kind of scoreboard you have. I have the Martha Stewart one. And these are just some of my pieces that I have ready to go. For this one, I'm also going to use cardstock for my handles. I didn't have a ribbon that would match what I wanted to do. So you're going to score on the 8.5 inch side here. You're going to score at 1 3/4. That's right here. And 6 3/4. Right here. Then you're going to turn it, and on your 11 inch side, you're going to score at 4.5 and 6.5. And that gives you a 2 inch depth for your bag. So I'm going to go ahead and fold all of my score lines. On my sides. So then, in order for our bag to be put together, we obviously have to cut these little pieces here. So I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut just outside the score line. And I'm going to take a little sliver off so this will close nicely. Just a little piece. It doesn't necessarily have to be as big as I just did it, but that's okay. I'm going to do the same on this side. Just up to that score line, and I'm going to take a little angle out. So then we have something that looks like that. I'm going to do the same on the other side. A little sliver. And the Stampin' Up cardstock is excellent cardstock to make boxes and stuff out of. It's very sturdy. So then our box is, this is going to go inside. The back is going to come up, and then the front is going to come up this way. And that's going to create our little bag. So what I like to do is try to figure out where I'm going to put my score tape, because I've messed up a few times on where I'm supposed to put this. So just bear with me for a few seconds. I know that I want to assemble my back piece first. So when I assemble the front, my seam is towards the back of my bag. So if you're really picky about that, then that's how I do it. If you're not, then you can just kind of, you know, fold it up. But we know that the little tabs have to go on the inside. So I'm actually going to flip this over, and I'm going to put a little piece of score tape on the sides. And if you don't have score tape, you can use the red liner sticky tape. I like the score tape because I can tear it and I don't have to use my scissors. Okay, so I know that that one's going to stick to that side. But as you can see, this doesn't go all the way to the edge here. So I'm actually going to put my score tape probably about 1/4 of an inch of the way in on the other side. So that way it doesn't, well, let's see. See, I always am learning new ways, easier ways to put these together. That is actually going to cover that up. So let's go ahead and stick it on both ends. Kind of go with the flow. My brain is not functioning very well, but I wanted to get this video done, so. Okay, so we can go ahead and put these on here. And then we know that once we attach this end is going to cover that up, and it's probably going to help it stick better anyway. So, for the, see, and you want to make sure that we get this lined up like that. It's not going to go all the way to the edge. So you're going to have a little bit of give right there. But to get it even, we don't want to line this up like this because then it'll be crooked. So we're going to stick a piece of score tape here and a piece of score tape here, if that makes sense. I hope I'm not getting out of camera. I have a new camera and I'm trying to figure out the angle. Okay, so let's do this one first. We're going to do this strip and this strip over here. I'm not peeling anything off yet, so I know that it's all going to go together correctly. So the two ends on this top flap, you're going to put your sticky strip or your score tape on the ends. And I'm going to fold it back up and make sure I get this right. So then on the opposite side, so we're going to take this, we're going to flip it over. I hope you guys can follow this. And we're going to stick on this end up here. So now these are just facing the top. So the two flaps up here, just like that. And I think that's going to be it for our sticky. So you'll have two like that. When you flip it over, you're going to have two on the top, and then you're going to have two on your little tabs here. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip it back over, and we're going to start assembling the box. So we're going to take off the little strips here. I'm going to get my lead here to help me out a little bit. So I'm going to take both of these off from the little flap. And then we're just going to go ahead and line up this bottom piece with that. And then I'm just going to rub it with my fingers. So then we have that. Now let's do this side. And again, I'm just going to take my little X-Acto knife and peel back this. And same thing with this side. So just line up the bottom so it's nice and straight. Is that my camera? Nice and straight, and just press down. So see, this sticky strip is hanging out on this side, but once we cover that, it's going to help hold that together. So then what we're going to do is take these longer strips off. And this you kind of have to be careful because with sticky strip and score tape, you kind of only have one shot with just a little wiggle room. I know you can peel it off a little bit if you don't press it down too firmly. So I try not to do that. But again, you're going to line this up on the bottom here. So that way your bag is going to be nice and even. So there we go. And I'm just going to take the flat end of my bone folder and just kind of press down so I can get it in there better than my hand. And then this side, so then we're just gonna line this up in the bottom and make sure it's pretty even. And then just give it a good press. And there we have the box. For the front panel and the back panel, I'll show you. You need a 3" by 4.5 inch. Now these I just cut into little strips just to equal that amount because I wanted all the colors. These are the in colors of, I think it's 2013 through 2015 is that one. What I did for this one, and I probably should have attached these beforehand, but that's okay. Can still work with it, is I cut Whisper White cardstock at 3 by 4.5. And I ran it through my Sizzix embossing folder, and it's just the dots. It's basically the same as the Swiss dots from the Cuttlebug. So I did that, and then I inked the bottom and the top. So I'm actually going to attach these. And like I said, I should have done this beforehand, but I totally spaced it out. So I'm just gonna make sure that I've got this even, and I'm going to attach them with my ATG tape. I'm gonna put a couple strips down the middle, since it is I'm gonna line this up with my ruler. I'm just using my ruler as a guide to even out my box so I can see so I can get this centered. There we go. For the most part. And trying to figure out the easiest way to do this. I think it's going to be like that. I'm just gonna give that a good rub on this side. And there we have the front panel. So we're gonna do the same to the back. Kind of an odd way to put this on using my ruler, but like I said, should probably attach the panels before you assemble the box or bag, whatever you want to call it, which is what I did not do. So I'm just going to do it this way. Just like that. Oh, come off. There we go. All right. Okay, so there is the back panel. So it worked out perfectly fine. Okay, so now I'm going to do the handles. And the handles, you need to cut, if you're going to use ribbon, you need to cut 2 strips at 17 inches. And I'm going to show you the ribbon one. The ribbon one, you can wrap around the bottom and you just make a little slit here and you stick the ribbon through, and I just taped it on the inside. You can also start your ribbon here if you want, so you just have to measure 17 inches, so probably 16, maybe a little under 16 inches if you wanted to start here to go around and then back down to the front again. So that's that. This wired stuff is kind of cool because you can shape it. Sorry about my phone. 1 second. I never know if that's going to be my kiddos or anything. So, I always like to check it. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to use cardstock, and I used designer series paper for this one. So my 2 strips in the front and my 2 strips in the back are 4.5, and I want to say these are 3/4 of an inch. No, these are 1/2 inch wide. So you can make this as wide or as narrow as you want, but I wouldn't go much narrower than 1/2 inch, just for the sake of sturdiness. And then my 2 pieces up here are both cut 1/2 inch by 7 inches. So I cut some Whisper White cardstock and some more Lucky Limeade, and I layered them. So these 2 pieces measure, I believe these are 7. These are 7 inches. And then I cut 4 strips at 4.5. So I'm going to attach 2 of these to the front, like this, and then I'm going to attach 2 on the back. And I'm actually going to use my score tape for this because I want this to actually stay on top of the embossing. So I'm going to take my score tape and run it along both sides of my little piece here. I think you guys can see that. And my Lucky Limeade is actually 5/8 of an inch, and then my Whisper White is 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm just going to peel this off. Like that. And I like to start from the top because if a little hangs over on the bottom, that's okay, because when it sits, it doesn't actually touch. So I'm going to start with the top side. And I'm just going to kind of go by the middle, and that's where I'm going to line up my edge here. And I'm going to follow my little dots kind of as a guide. And then again, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to give it a good rub on the other side. So then it looks like that. I'm going to do the other side. I guess I could have prepped all the score tape, but I totally spaced it out, so I'm sorry that you guys have to watch me tape all this. Would be a good place to pause the video and prep all of your score tape. Save some time, I guess. So again, I'm just going to peel this off and stick it on the other side. Just over here. And again, I'm going to take what I think might be the center of my little strip and line it up with the center, or with the edge of my embossed piece there. Just use my little dots to go down. So there we have the front. And then we're going to do the back. And I would pause and do this and then come back. But like I said, this is a new camera. My husband got me a new video camera for Christmas because I was using my son's. And so he got me my own finally. And I'm still learning how to do stuff on it because it's not the same one. And I don't know where the pause is on my camera yet. So I have to figure that out rather than trying to piece it together afterwards. So I'm just going to prep the rest of these really fast. just like that. So I'm just going to get both of these ready and we're just going to attach them. Oops. It's just like that. I'm just going to line it up again. Lots of rubbing on the inside with the bone folder. Oops. Okay. This piece on here, and that's going to be what we're going to attach our handle to. So then you have the front and the back. And my front is a little nicer than the back. I kind of didn't get so even back there, so that's okay. I'm going to use this one as my front. So this piece is actually going to go from here, and it's going to kind of bend around, and it's going to attach to this piece here. And I'm going to use some brads, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to score tape this also so it doesn't move around too much. And this is 1/4 inch score tape, so I'm just going to place it about 1/8 of an inch above the edge on either side of my little strap here. And then I forgot to get my little piercing pad. I have an old mouse pad. Oh, where did I put it? That I use to pierce my holes with. Now if I can find the paper. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball the center. And just pierce it. So that way I know that that's where that's going to go. And I'm going to stick my pad in here. And I'm going to pierce that side. And that side. I'm just kind of twisting it because I really don't want to poke myself. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the back at the same time. It's not quite 1/4 of an inch down. It's about 1/8 of an inch. Just twisting it a little bit there. So then we'll, if I can grab it, go ahead and flip this side over, pierce that one, and then again, oh, I hope I'm on in the camera video or in frame, do that one. And I'm not measuring these, I'm just kind of eyeballing the center, going up. Okay, so there we go. And now I have, oh, I guess I should have taped that one first. I have some little silver brads. I don't remember where I got these. They're just kind of in my little container of brads. These are not Stampin' Up ones. So I'm just going to go ahead and use them for this. I'm going to go ahead and peel off my score tape. I'm gonna just kind of line up my holes there and just give that a good squeeze so it'll stay. And then I'm gonna insert my little brad, if I can, go in there. And the brad is gonna help hold it together, but it's also cute and decorative at the same time. So it'll look like that. And then the other one. Go ahead and peel this piece off. And we're gonna just kind of twist it around. And this is kind of tricky because this cardstock is pretty thick. I'm gonna try to line up my holes there. And give that a good squeeze. And go ahead and insert the other brad. It's bending. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna poke it again. This is pretty thick. The other one wasn't so thick because I used the designer series paper. I'm gonna go ahead and poke those together. There we go. Let's see if we can get that through now. Much easier. There we go. So there we go. There's one handle. And then we'll do the back handle. I'm going to go ahead and put the tape on these, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and poke them together again anyway. Just to make sure that I can get my little brads through. Like I said, my brain is, I don't know where it is, not functioning. There are always easier ways to do it sometimes than how I do it on camera. So I'm just going to try to line that up. And we're going to go ahead and poke it in. There we go. Much easier to get this little brad through. Whoops, don't drop it. Okay, and then the last one. Again, just kind of twist it around. Line that one up. Give it a good squeeze. With that other handle in there, it's getting in my way. Okay. Poke that again. Goes through all the layers. And then put the last brad in there. Okay, so the bag is assembled just like that. And then you can, sorry, I have to get a Kleenex really quick. You can decorate however you want. And since I have my flower theme going on with my cards, I have this little flower here. I went ahead and punched out another flower, and then I punched out another one with the Lucky Limeade, and I just kind of angled the layer. And then I also stamped another thank you, and I layered that on a piece of the Lucky Limeade. So I'm just going to put these on the front, and I'm just going to use these 1/2 inch dimensionals. So I'm just going to put a couple on my flower, and then I'll put a couple on the back of my thank you. This is just gonna house thank you cards, so for the thank you, I'm gonna just center it. Probably about right there. So I'm just gonna give that a good press. And then my flower, I will center above that. Probably like that. And just press that down really good. And then I have my little bag is completed. So I can take my little thank you cards, whoops, and they fit right inside there. So that's the bag. I'm actually, because this video is kind of long now, I'm gonna stop here, and then I'm gonna do the next video. I'm gonna show you how to make the card and the envelope. So this is just the bag, and I will see you guys back here in a few with the next video. Bye.